And that's what's important about today and tomorrow. Because gradually, what shall I say, insidiously, almost mysteriously, cunningly, the world, especially the Western world, is finding itself more and more ruled by the collective, by the group, this lobby group, that lobby group, some other group. And once you start getting into that, individuals start to lose their power. And that's what happened now over the last 30 or 40 years, the power of the individual, the power of the individual MP, the power of the individual MLA gets diluted as this power shifts, as this book talks about, shifted from the Parliament of Canada, which is supposed to represent all Canadians, to the Cabinet, and then the last place it went, of course, and where it now resides, is with the Prime Minister's office. And we know that in recent times, because look what happened with SNC-Lavalin. Look what happened with who was trying to change the whole situation, even obstructing justice, telling the Attorney General of Canada, who's supposed to be independent, that what you are doing, we don't want you to do. Even though it was the right thing to do, it was the legal thing to do. Tried to get it changed. Thankfully, she stood up, as well as another lady from Ontario, and said, no, I'm not going to go along with all of this behind-the-scenes backroom dealing that you and your office was trying to do to change this. And these people have to go to court. We're not going to do any out-of-court settlement for your friends from Quebec. We're just not going to do it. And she didn't. And of course, she lost her job, and Ms. Philpott lost her job as well that they had. But that was extreme. But what's really important about that, whilst the Prime Minister lost on that as a temporary measure, when they went to the Parliament of Canada, which is supposed to represent us all, like I said, what happened in the Parliament of Canada? Well, he started to have parliamentary committees. And the committee was going to hear from Ms. Raybo and hear from Ms. Philpott. And all of a sudden, when the heat got a little bit too hot, they closed the committee down. That's the nature of our country, that they were able to, it was the tyranny of the majority. John Stuart Mill talked about the tyranny of the majority in his work back in the 18th and 19th century, 18th century. So it is happening, and we know it every day from what's happened through this pandemic that we're into right now. We know that this is happening every day. There are regulations and stuff made on the spur of the moment by the Cabinet or by the Prime Minister or by a Premier, not going through the regular processes of the Parliament, allow for parliamentary committees and for everybody's voice to be heard. So in that charter, we were careful to put a bunch of stuff. Section 2. We've got the preamble. You've got some sheets. I'm going to go to Section 2 now. Section 2, of course, talks about your freedom, right? Our freedom. Each one in this room's freedom, right? And that's the freedom of expression, the freedom of conscience, the freedom of religion, the freedom of the press. And then it goes on to talk about the freedom to assemble. Remember what's happened to the freedom of assembly? Well, I'm glad you people are exercising your freedom tonight to assemble in these rooms. Freedom to assemble and to associate. Those are freedoms that are ensconced in the Constitution of this land called the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, that each of you has as a person, as an individual. And then Section 6. I love Section 6. Mobility. Mobility. Don't get aboard a plane, don't get aboard a train, don't get aboard a cruise ship. Prime Minister says, completely in violation of what Section 6 says. What is Section 6? You can travel anywhere in this country, it says. You can travel anywhere in this country. Or leave this country. And then it goes on to say, and you have a right to a livelihood anywhere in this country. And we know friends of ours have lost their jobs. This is protected in the Constitution. Your right to pursue a livelihood. Completely completely disregarded by every government in this country, completely disregarded. And then we go to 7, and to enhance those first 2, we hammered it home again. Life, liberty. Boy, these are powerful words, right? The right to life, liberty, and that last one, security of the person. Take that needle and throw it away. That's not for me, because I'm protecting myself by the security of person, which is in the Constitution of Canada. Security of the person. Unbelievable. And then the 4th section, section 15, to put an umbrella over it all, you, each one of you in this hall tonight, has equality before the law. Equality before the law. Right now, that's been hammered to pieces. That's been mangled and kicked around like you wouldn't believe, because we don't have equality before the law right now. Some people are allowed to go certain places, and so other people are not allowed to go to those places. That's not equality before the law. So these are the 4 major parts of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms which you should study and make them a part of your life. Those 4. Because they're the key ones of the Charter on individual rights and freedoms.